The Soling is an international open keelboat class designed by Jan Linge from Norway in 1965. In 1968, it was selected to be an Olympic class for the Games of the 20th Olympiad in Kiel 1972. The Soling maintained this status until her final appearance at the 2000 Olympics. The Soling is a strong boat designed for any wind and sea condition and is, above all, fun to sail. Fitness, sailing and team skills are basic requirements for successful racing. The boats are one design originating from an authorized single plug mold and made of glass-reinforced polyester, making competition as equal as possible. The lifetime of a Soling is long. Those produced in the early days still sail beautifully, and some are still in competition. The average competition life of a Soling boat is considered 15 years, making the Soling a perfect cost-benefit boat for racing purposes. Characteristic for the Soling is the droop hiking technique. Since 2008, the Soling is one of the vintage yachting classes at the Vintage Yachting Games. History. The Soling history actually began in the mind of Jan Linge during the late 1950s while he was doing design work and tank testing on a 5.5 meters to be built for a Norwegian friend for sailing in the 1960 Olympics. This friend, Finn Ferner, was a successful businessman and an outstanding helmsman, an Olympic medalist and winner of many international events. Linge had become convinced that a slightly smaller boat with a detached spade rudder and short keel could be a fast seaworthy boat with the likelihood of great popularity, though such features were not allowed under the 5.5 rules. After 1960, Linge completed his design sketches to demonstrate his ideas for promoting a Norwegian national class. By the time of the 1961 VYGOcommons meetings, the Forces for Change had organized themselves to seek 4 new classes of single-hander as companion to the Finn, a 2-man keelboat to complement the Star, a 3-man keelboat like the 5.5, a Dragon, finally a catamaran. The underlying goals for these new boats were not explicit, but hinted. High performance and popularity were keywords for whatever boat was chosen. The 2-man keelboat process started in 1962 under the auspices of the Dutch sailing magazine De Waterkampioen, with the announcement of the design competition to culminate at the 1963 VYGOcommons meetings and trials, perhaps in 1965. This resulted in the Tempest. It was the public announcement by the Class Policy Committee in mid-1963 that started events leading to the adoption of the Soling's Olympic status. 4 years later, the American magazine Yachting undertook to accept design sketches for presentation at the November 1963 meeting. What VYGOcommons wanted was a nice compromise between maximum speed and maximum seaworthiness, with a good measure of both. Obligatory maximum limits and features were LWL 22 feet, draft 4.6, displacement 3,799 pounds, sail area 310 square feet, non-sinkable, built-in buoyancy, capable of racing in open sea conditions. Open cabin. Linge was determined to develop his version of a 3-man keelboat. His next-door neighbor, Sverre Olsen, became interested in backing the effort. A wooden prototype was built for experimenting with sizes and placement of rudders, keels, and rig. Finn Ferner, the champion skipper and Linge's 5.5 client of 1960, became an important skilled partner in this activity. By mid-1965, Linge and Ferner were satisfied enough with their work to manufacture the molds needed for producing complete fiberglass boats. In November 1965, the VYGOcommons scheduled trials to be held off Kiel during September 1966. The high-performance revolution was underway. The Tempest was given recognition. Catamaran trials were set for 1967, and a 1966 rerun of the single-hander event, which had had no wind in 1965, was held. During the winter of 1965–66, 5 fiberglass Solings were built, which were extensively sailed against one another during the following summer. This competition was destined to be helpful in the heavy weather ahead at Kiel, chosen as a windy challenge for what the VYGOcommons desired. The first race was in moderate air, but thereafter for 10 of the 11 races, Kiel lived up to its breezy reputation. The final race may have been worth all the rest for the Soling. A meeting of helmsmen gathered in view of the 40-knot wind. Not surprisingly, the committee's desire to race was persuasive. By the windward mark only the Soling was left to sail the course, and so was able to demonstrate her outstanding ability to handle heavy air. The selection committee, consisting of Chairman British Frank Murdoch, Italian Beppe Croce, American Bob Bavier, Greek Kostas Stavridis, British Sir Gordon Smith and German Hans Lubinus, was impressed. 2 boats were recommended. Shillelagh II, designed and sailed by U.S. Star-class champion E.W. Skip Etchells, and Soling, the boat referred to as the undersized entry. Several new boats, a fiberglass Shillelagh, also a 5.5 and a Dragon to compare speeds, assembled in Travelman for the second trials, this time in what became a moderate air series. Again Shillelagh was the big winner, but again Soling finished respectably. This time she was sailed by Perspilling with Sven Olsen and Linge as crew. Without comment, the observation committee recommended Soling alone. This result passed unanimously through the VYGOcommons meetings. The Soling had become an international class. The 1968 Games in Mexico were held before the class acquired its Olympic status, because there was a 5-class limit set by the International Olympic Committee. The CPOC had recommended 5.5, Soling, Tempest, FD and Finn. These at the cost of Dragon and Star for the 1972 Olympics. The Permanent Committee was heavily lobbied by Dragon enthusiasts and so dumped the 5.5. In the same process, the Star owners forced abandonment of VYGOcommons Tempest. In April 1969, after this battle, the IOC relieved the pressure on the VYGOcommons by allowing a 6th event. The VYGOcommons then added the Tempest. The news of the trial's results not only assured the Soling's status, but stimulated a building spree. 300 in 1968 and as many or more in 1969. Elvström became the dominant builder in Europe, particularly after he won the first Soling World Championships off Copenhagen in 1969. One of the best American helmsmen, George O'Day, was given a license to build for the U.S. market, just as Bill Abbott Sr. acquired the Canadian market. Present day, there are still active and fun Soling-class racing. Boston, Massachusetts maintains one of the largest active Soling racing clubs, with highly competitive racing every week through summer and fall. Events: Olympic Games, Pan American Games, World Champions, World's Championship, World's Match Race Championship, World's Masters Championship. No more Masters World Championship will be sailed after 2014, because the ISAF allows now only one World Championship per class. Continental Champions, North American Championship, European Fleet Race Champions, European Match Race Championship, South American Championship, Vintage Yachting Games, National Championships Class Association. After the class became an international class, the International Soling Association was founded. This owners' club became a very self-supporting club able to address the main issues of the class. International Soling Class Association website. Class presidents. The main strategy of the Soling president has always been 1. Designedness, and creating opportunities that bring club sailors and Olympic aspirants together.